From the banks of the Allegheny, welcome to Film Bits. 7, oh, I can't believe we're already here. Part 8. And this part has my favorite scene in the whole film. When last we left, we were inside John Doe's apartment, then we cut to an exterior, kind of like an establishing shot, but not really, just an exterior shot showing all the police and paramedics that have shown up on the scene, and then we're going to cut back inside to finish off John Doe, and that's where we'll begin. Let's kick it off right there. Love the makeup on Pitt, man. He's got blood all down his shirt, cracked open skull, and he's still rolling. If you remember in the credit sequence, there was fingers being taken to razor blades to get rid of the fingerprints. That was a quick allusion to this scene. Rain, light beams, like the light made solid. I like how we've talked all throughout the darkness and the mood that Fincher is working with here, but I like that more often than not, when we see light, there's so little of it, particularly on all the interiors outside of the greed interior. The light is almost like a solid thing because we can see the beam. So it's almost tangible and touchable. And that is a visual motif that Fincher has established right from the get-go in the gluttony scene and continues showing it here in the apartment in the shot with the lamp with the fluorescent lamp as well as the lamp to the right or left of Somerset to our screen right. Let's pick it back up. So Somerset is reading John Doe's ramblings, and he has, look at all those composition books around Doe. Sorry, around Somerset. All of Doe's mental meanderings. Just his mind poured out on paper. There's a shot of all the books. We saw another shot of the lights there, where again that tangible touchiness. Multiple types of lamps in there, by the way. It's interesting. Phone ringing. Like that camera work there, the close-up showing him slide on his knees, then cutting over to his frantic desire to find this phone. And of course, it's John Doe on the other end. So Doe is expressing his admiration and telling. So they nail the recording with Doe. They got a piece of the discussion. Now we're back in the photo studio. Cut outside a Wild Bill's leather. Now we're in a Saturday. We've only got 2 days left and we have multiple murders to go. That's why Doe said on the telephone he was going to speed up the timeline. Beeper. So they find the blonde. Quick cut. Things are moving. Flip-flop on the track shot there. First in front, then in back, then back in front. Interesting dynamism on the movement there. Red light sets a tone. Just seeing that red light, hearing this music already has our minds thinking any number of things as far as to what this place is. Lust written on the door. Number 9, whether that's significant or not. and all sorts of craziness, leaving us with all kinds of questions. And we'll get those answers right here. So this is Mills talking to the owner of or manager of this place. And then we cut to this guy who's literally hyperventilating during this scene. Oh, and there we go. Okay, so if you go back, and I'll throw some stills up, the way that Fincher tastefully does this, this is a horrific crime. That picture, if you could imagine that apparatus attached to that man who is crying and shivering, and he uses it on the blonde girl to kill her, and that is lust. And the shots that you're seeing on the screen show how Fincher can just hint at this without having to get graphic or disturbing about, the blood and gore and guts or other parts. One of the most interesting things I found about this film with talking with people is people saying how gross and disturbing it is, and no one gets killed. Up until this point, we see no one die live. Everything is after the fact. Everything is, what our mind does, the powerful tool of our mind and our psychology, what we do with the information we have been given. But Fincher doesn't directly show us anything as the act is occurring. It's all after the fact. Let's go ahead and pick it back up. So what we're finding out here is John Doe forced that man to wear that apparatus and to have sex with that woman with a gun to his head. And he's freaking out because he realized what he did. And here he comes. So anyway, the actor is literally hyperventilating. He had to get super psyched up to do this scene and to try and get that. Oh, sorry. He had a gun in my mouth. The gun was in my throat. So, a great bit of acting there. I'm sorry I was all chopped up because I got lost in the moment of the scene. But to get himself to this level of fear and disturbance, the actor got himself to hyperventilate during his preparation and then just went right on. Was when it was time for him to do it, that was the take they used was him with the hyperventilation and him going through what John Doe had done and Somerset just listening. Cut to a bar. This isn't going to have a happy ending. Somerset knows his stuff, man. Once more, Fincher's using just enough music in this bar scene to make it impossible for us to listen to this dialogue. So that's why I skipped most of the scene. So we cut from the bar scene to the night of finding about the night after they find lust and go through John Doe's apartment. Mills is in charge of this case. He's thinking about this. He's comes in, slides, the bird's eye view, top-down shot, snuggling his wife. Maybe he's questioning whether he should have moved out here. I mean, he wanted to be a stud, and he got a plate full of stuff right off the bat. And then he tells his wife he loves her so much, so much. She likes that. We cut over to the metronome, Somerset, one day left on the job, knowing that they have 2 murders left and they're not going to solve it. And that metronome, which was been there in the past, we'll just get rid of it that way. Great angle, too, so that we could get the throw and the bounce. And now this is something interesting. This is, it seems like something he's done before. Switchblade and dartboard. Again, greenish walls here, dingy. Nothing nice. Even when we get into the lawyer's office, which is one of the nicest locations as far as opulence and decoration, it's spoiled by his body. And here we are, Sunday. Doe, I've gone and done it again. Sorry, I said 2 murders earlier. It's 3. I forgot about Pride. So that murder was a very recent murder. Here we go. The sunlight is out. It recently rained, but we've got a lot of sunlight here. Somerset telling Mills he's going to stake around until this is done. Get this interesting long distance kind of track shot. And we can't really hear them if we were that close. Or, sorry, if we were this far away, we couldn't hear them. So that's an interesting shot designation. And the whole reason we get it is so that we can get this shot right here. The legs of somebody. Your wife called. Blood on the white shirt. Oh, God, I love this. He comes in twice, detective, and then screams, detective! Now, this is Kevin Spacey. Kevin Spacey was not even advertised for this film. In fact, he asked not to be included in the poster and in any of the pre-production kind of stuff or release. He wanted it to be a surprise, just as we don't know as the audience who John Doe is until John Doe decides to reveal himself. So would the audience not who the actor portraying Doe would be. So this is really kind of cool because Kevin Spacey, is right in the heart of all of his powers. He's starting to become a big deal in Hollywood at this time, and so another heavyweight has just been added to this cast. Let's pick it back up. Oh, yeah. Look at that. It's one of my favorite Kevin Spacey performances of all time. Right up there with Verbal Kent. And these movies came out right around the same time, Usual Suspects. And I like how he drops out of the shot there. The shot doesn't follow him. Spacey elected to shave his head for the role. He's got blood all over him. Probably just coming from the Pride murder because they just said Pride was a recent kill. He cuts the skin off the tips of his fingers. Ooh. And we got this voiceover about what he does with his fingers as he's dipping his tea, talking to his lawyer. A lot of background info being given here. Of course, I can't let you listen to it. Doe knows exactly where they are, looks over at them. I love how he's talking to the lawyer, but just looking, almost longingly looking out at where Mills and Somerset are. Okay, I hope you all got to hear that scene. If not, the idea is that Doe has killed 2 more people, that he will confess if the cops take him to a certain place. He will plead insanity if he doesn't, and he won't tell them where the other 2 bodies are. The discussion back and forth was between what they wanted to do. Mills, since he's lead, said, let's finish this. Both men had to agree. Somerset agreed. And so now they are going to escort the unarmed John Doe to a place where the bodies are. And that's where we'll wrap this up. Oh, man, I so wish, and I was even listening, I heard just faint strains of music in a lot of the scene, except till the end there when we got Doe to the police station. So I'm going to try and see if we can salvage some of that dialogue. But damn, I wish I could play more of this dialogue for you. Until the next time, which will be the final Film Bits of 7. Take care. See you soon.